Ayman Khan here for Seconds Out with Harlem Eubank, who is in action on March 31st against Christian Uruzquieta. Harlem, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, mate. In full flow, preparing well for a good challenge. Come 31st of March, and I'm ready for it, and I'm excited.
Preparing well, looking well. I saw a picture of yourself and Floyd Mayweather taken in the ring after his exhibition against Aaron Chalmers. How was meeting Floyd?
It was great. It was it it was very I've watched him for so long. It was to actually see him in the flesh. It was crazy. It was very surreal. That's the word I was looking for. It's to see him, to see his actual. When you see someone on TV, it's all you don't really get an idea of their size, their frame, what they're actually doing in real life, and to see him in the flesh, doing some of the things that he's well known for and in the sport, and to see him do things in the flesh that I've watched on TV, and that's motivated me to start boxing and to dedicate myself as well. It was surreal and definitely a dream come true to see him and to meet him, and to see his frame and see this guy. He's the same size as me. He's not superhuman. um yeah, it was a great experience. It took a lot of motivation from seeing him up close and from watching some of the stuff he was doing in the ring.
Now, Harlem, if I was in that position, I'd do one of two things or try to do two things. First of all, you said there, you seem like your size, your height there. Did you maybe ask him for an exhibition or a fight, or did you shoot your shot?
No. I'm not in the I'm not in the exhibition stage of my career. I'm in the stage where I'm fighting contenders, and you know, I'm a challenger right now. He's been there and done that, and achieved great things in the sport, and now he's in a phase where he can fight in a category which is more so described as celebrity boxing.
Mm.
Um, he's still got the skills, but he doesn't need to fight up and coming fighters anymore. He's he's achieved great heights in the sport of boxing, and now he can relax, enjoy everything he's achieved, and still have the the odd celebrity boxing match when he wants to.
How about advice? Did you manage to pick his brain on anything at all, or did you just take the motivation, like you said, from watching him?
Yeah, I didn't want to stick too many questions on him just because he just finished a fight. Everyone was speaking to him, but
Mm.
yeah, I took a lot of motivation from just meeting him, seeing him up close, and yeah, I took a lot of motivation and took a lot from that.
Fair enough, Harlem. Now, moving forward to your fight on the 31st, Christian Uruzquieta. Seen him recently. Lewis Whitson fought him. You've got him a step up for yourself here. How do you feel? Why Christian, first of all, and in terms of how you feel the fight will play out? Is this a fight where you particularly game plan for him, or you just do what you do best in the ring?
I think it's another challenge. It's an opponent. He's a tough Mexican. He's fought many prospects. He's beat good prospects as well. He's been involved in um, in some big fights, and he's beat prospects over these sides as well. So it's another challenge, and this is the type of fight where I think his name and his profile uh, don't necessarily match up to the challenge that he will present. But I think hardcore boxing fans will have come across him before and know what he's capable of in there. So I think it's going to be a good opportunity to overcome them challenges for me and practice things against that style of opposition, and really show what I can do against that type of opposition that does carry that threat and that history of coming over to perform the upset that we see time and time again with these Mexican fighters.
Do you feel that you have to make a statement in this fight, considering the platform that you're on, and then what other contenders are doing around the division? Also, it's a fluid division at the best of times. So, do you feel that you have to keep putting your name out there by making statements in the ring?
I think every performance I give is better than the last. I think every fight I'm having is a statement. The opponents that I'm going in against seem to be more advanced than you know than those around me are facing. So I feel like every fight I have, I feel like it's a statement, and that's what I'm training for. It's always to deliver the best version of myself and show progression and show each time that I'm developing as a fighter and that I'm you know that I'm on the rise and going to be a problem in this division.
With that development, then 2023 comes fast and quick. Where do you want to be towards the end of 2023?
I want to be in big fights. Yeah, I think this year is all about showing what I can do, and then calling for some of the top names in the division to to really show people that I'm here and that I'm serious in this sport. So the big fights is where I want to be, and again progressing towards the dream of becoming a world champion. But I think there's definitely some big fights to be made at the end of 2023.
As I mentioned, in and around your division, there's been some activity. First of all, Harry Davis versus Lewis Whitson. They fought with Davis being the winner. Davis now looks towards world titles. I wonder, Whitson wants to continue. Have you potentially got Lewis in your sights at all?
I'd love that fight. I'd absolutely love that fight. I mean, even before the O'Hara fight, um, you know, if that fight came about, we would have snapped it up. Um, I think I'm ready for that level. Um, and yeah, I'm not sure whether he's looking to fight challengers coming up or not, or whether he's looking to sail off into the sunset. Um, you know, but that's definitely a fight that we would snap up. Um, as well as there's loads of fights in the division that get me excited, and that's definitely one of them. Um, but yeah, these are the type of fights. End of 2023, we're calling for all of these.
Yeah, just sticking on Ritson, how do you feel you'd match up with him? You'd obviously feel like you'd get the win, but what is it that makes you so confident that you'd get that win?
I just think I'm a more complete fighter, and just doing what I do. My style is explosive movement. There's many different components to my game. I feel like, and these are continuing to develop. I'm only in the sport 10 years total, really, including amateur experience, which was very little, but I'm constantly developing, and I even feel like at this stage I've got enough to overcome some of the top prospects in the division, and I'm still improving. So I just feel like it's my time very soon to show the world what I can do and the skill set I've amassed over this short period of time. And I do believe that I will beat you know a lot of the top prospects in the division.
Strong words and strong statements, which you're making, looking to make on the 31st. Harlem, I want to get your thoughts on a couple of other things. Hot button topic in boxing right now, especially I imagine in the family too, is Conor Benn. Did you watch the interview with Piers Morgan? And if you did, what was your take on it?
I don't think it was a good look. I think that sometimes silence is the better option. Um, he's in a position where with 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 the attention and the platform that he's got, comes great responsibility. And I think that um, you know that's why there's so much controversy. You know, that's why he says he's getting witch hunted or whatever. If you're in that position where all eyes are on you, you have a obligation and a responsibility for the next generation to, you know, to take that pressure and be a role model. So I think that's why the attention comes in the negative form if you don't, or if you're suspected of you know, PEDs or, you know, using performance enhancing drugs. It comes with the it's part and parcel. You know, if you want the good attention, then for doing good, then you're also going to get the bad attention when you don't do things correctly. So I just think that Piers Morgan's very good at prodding and probing. So I think that if your story isn't watertight, then it's not a good place to be, and I don't think it done him any favors in the in trying to prove, or, you know, trying to prove his innocency. But yeah, it's done now, and yeah, it is what it is.
It's a measured response there, Harlem. I wonder, though, there are still a lot of people calling for Chris and Conor to fight down the line. Where do you stand on that? Do you still want to see that fight? Do you want to see that fight?
I don't know. I think there's a lot that still needs to come to light um before these type of fights can go ahead, I think. But, you know, the WBC have come to their own conclusion. You know, as we see on the Piers Morgan. But yeah, I don't know if these fights are going to go ahead without further proof or, you know, investigation. But yeah, I mean, if they do, then I think Chris Conor, you know, I think it can definitely happen. I think they're both at different stages of their career, but I think, you know, Chris is very confident that, you know, he would do the job, and even last time he was willing to fight. Or, you know, trying to see if what they can do, even once what surfaced came out. But I think he'd be very confident in that fight, as he was last time. Yeah, I think, I just don't know, with the controversy around it. I don't, you know, I'm not that excited about the fights that are being mentioned. Even, you know, Manny Pacquiao, and it's like the dude's been retired for a number of years. I don't know, it doesn't excite me.
Harlem, I just noticed, maybe I might be reading into this a little bit, but you've got a shirt on there that says, I can read natural on there, a little subtle message, maybe?
That's just my ethos, you know, do things the natural way. You know, it wasn't an intended message, but hey, everything happens for a reason, I guess. And this is what it's about: doing things the natural way, doing things the right way. And that's what I'm about. Good nutrition, you know, putting in the work, putting in the training. And yeah, I've been a plant-based athlete for 8 years now. So, you know, that's the life that I'm living, and I believe I'm doing things the right way, and I think that time will tell. And that, you know, the organic way always pays off in the end, and that's what I believe.
So I'm a vegetarian myself. I've not dropped down to veganism. It's a goal to maybe try that myself at one point. But tell me about
Yeah,
those health benefits that you feel that you've gained from going to the veganism route.
yeah, I think I've gained a lot of mental clarity, discipline. Um, I just think that it really, you know, aids um, it really aids performance and lifestyle, and just mental thought process, even if it's not directly a performance based thing. I think that it's definitely like a mental internal thing, like your organ health, your like mental, getting rid of like mental fog, just feeling alive and feeling like you're thriving. I feel like it plays a big part in that, but not just the, you know, the commercial veganism route, but actually eating, you know, whole grain foods and plant-based foods that aren't processed and, you know, in their closest to original organic form. So I think that being aware of what you're putting in and how you're fueling the body plays a big part in performance and the ability to thrive just as a human being as well as an athlete. So I think you know, vegetarianism, I think you're halfway there. Yeah, I'm sure you felt similar benefits from making that transition in itself.
Yeah, I can say that I have for sure been vegetarian for 6-7 years now. Won't be turning back. Let's look forward though to yourself, Harlem.
Yeah.
Jumping back to the boxing. Chris has activated a rematch clause against Liam Smith. Will you be looking to try on getting that card? Maybe people were expecting you to be on the card in the first fight.
Potentially, I could be on that card. We'll have to see when the dates fall and when my fight schedule falls as well, because obviously I'm headlining on Channel 5 in my upcoming fights. So let's see. I'd love to be on that undercard, you know, in which Chris can give a real account of himself in the second fight, and I'm looking forward to that, and I'd love to be involved with that whole build up and that setup as well.
Yeah, just to elaborate a little bit further on that, you feel Chris will get that revenge, and if so, what can he do differently against Liam Smith to get that revenge?
I think I do think that the second fight will be a lot different. I think that Chris will. I think it's mainly Chris's mindset. You know, when he really feels like there's that danger in front of him, he prepares differently and he applies himself, like how he knows he needs to. And I think that in the first fight maybe he didn't have that, but in the second fight he definitely has that, and it's a much bigger fight, and I think that he will apply himself to be his full self, you know, and box to his full potential in this second fight. And yeah, I'm excited for that.
My final question to you then, Harlem. 31st against Christian Uruzquieta at York Hall. What can we expect to see from you in the ring? You've talked about kind of learning and putting that skill set together. But what does that actually apply to in terms of a performance that the fans can expect to see from you?
I think you can expect to see a dominant display, explosive punching, movement, planting my feet. I think you can expect to see a bit of everything, and that's what I'm working towards. I'm working towards becoming a whole complete fighter every day in the gym. That's where I'm heading, and yeah, you can expect to see loads of different components of my game, and I'm excited to put on an explosive display on the 31st. And I think, yeah, if you tune in, you're gonna be entertained with the performance.
Harlem, a real pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for speaking to Seconds Out. I'll be there on the night, so looking forward to seeing you in action as well. Thank you very much.
Nice one, mate. Nice speaking to you, bro.